Hey guys, what is up and welcome to a relatively quick new League of Legends video. Now, Riot released some very interesting information actually about the whole new rune mastery system rework, you know, that they are implementing. We talked about it before, they made videos about it before, they have announced it already, that they're just essentially rehauling the rune system like entirely, and I think the mastery system as well. And there's a lot of really cool stuff. So there's a really cool post I want to go over, giving us a lot of new runes and stuff and the way it works. So I think it's really interesting information, and I also wanted to use this video as a way to let you know that right now I'm actually going to be streaming on Twitch. It's been a long time since I've streamed on Twitch, but I will be streaming, and I'll be streaming the new champion Kayn on the PvE for a couple of hours, maybe 3 or so hours, just, you know, for fun. Maybe you guys can see some live gameplay and stuff like that as well. Because why not, I guess, you know, why not? The champion's really fun, so I thought it'll be cool to do. But regardless, all that aside, again, the link will be down below in the description. You guys can check out my Twitch. The link will be down below. But anyways, check it out. So, Runes Reforge, picking your playstyle. So essentially, it's going to be looking roughly like this, right? So you're going to have two paths, right? Your first is going to be your main path, which is, in this case, the Resolve. So you have your Keystone rune, you have your Greater rune, and you have two of your like minor runes. And then you'll have a secondary path, which will be, in this case, the Inspiration path, which you'll get a little bit of extra bonuses from that path as well. You can see you only get to choose the smaller runes from that path. You don't get the option of the Keystone, which is like the very, very powerful one, or the Greater rune, which is also, you know, significantly stronger than obviously just the basic runes. But it still gives you a bit more options and leeway and just things to make it a bit more interesting to have, you know, really cool combinations, right? So that's kind of the idea there, and that's kind of more or less how it'll work. Again, you know, this is still subject to change, keep that in mind, but this is what they have so far. So, picking your playstyle. So there's, again, several playstyles. There's, I believe, 5 of them. So, yes, 5 options. Domination, Inspiration, Precision, Sorcery, and Resolve. Right, so in this case, again, we have Resolve and Inspiration, which is right here. Resolve and Inspiration. So you can have like several really cool combinations and, like, you know, a lot of really cool things. So again, in this case, you choose Resolve as your main one. So you have these options here: the Keystone rune, the, you know, really powerful one, the Greater rune, and 2 minor runes, followed by the secondary path. Right? That's more or less how it works. And then they give us some examples of how it can look. For instance, by the way, they're saying keep a quick reminder that, you know, everything is in a work in progress, so it is definitely subject to change, and the icons and the names and all that stuff will most likely change still. But anyway, so for instance, it's saying early bird or enduring turtle. So you might have a lane opponent you want to answer whether to bully with a little more abandon or survive a weak early matchup. Or maybe you've got the lane on lock and you want to spec for teamfights. These runes from the Resolve path will let you choose one of the following. So one example is Stone Skin from the Resolve path, right? Again, this is just a very, very small amount of the total of options that we'll have. Keep that in mind. Anyway, Stone Skin. Gain 5 armor, plus 2 nearby enemy, plus 2 armor per nearby enemy champion, range 800 units. Okay, pretty good, pretty good. Very similar to a mastery we currently have. Another one called Fortified Mines, the same thing as this, just instead of armor, of course, it's magic resistance. Okay, pretty cool. Discipline, after 10 minutes, gain 10 armor and 10 magic resist, plus 2 of each per nearby enemy champion. So this one is slightly more, you know, laning phase style, you know, because it gives you flat, plus, of course, a little bit of a kind of scaling in a way-ish, you know. Once the team fights finally happen, this will be more effective as well. While this one is also for team fights, but this one gives you more resistance. This is essentially double, which isn't a lot, I think. I mean, even after 10 minutes, only 10 armor and magic resist. It's not bad, I guess, but I mean, they're both pretty minor. I'm assuming both of those are just simple runes, right? Because they're not anything substantial, but it is a small helper, I guess, here and there. My mouse just died. 1 second. Anyway, so then we also have the Discipline, right? So that's kind of how it works, right? So do you want one for laning phase? Do you want one that after 10 minutes will be a bit more useful? Then you have even more interesting things. Sweet combos. So while all the paths lend themselves to specific playstyles, sometimes you'll find a Keystone and Rune synergy off. What? Sometimes you'll find Keystone and Rune synergy off the beaten path. Here's an example. Okay, I don't know if that doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, Rune King's Tribute. So I'm assuming this is a Keystone because this is a pretty powerful one. So this is really cool. Every 4 seconds in combat, your next attack deals damage to nearby champions and large monsters every 4 seconds, equal to 3% of your max health, good for tanks, and heals you for 20 to 75% of this amount based on level. So I'm assuming level 1 is 20, level 18 is 75. Ranged champions, the damage and healing are halved. So this is a really good, like, bruiser top laner kind of thing, maybe even for junglers as well, because it does work on large monsters, right? So like the red buff, the blue buff, for instance, which is super cool. And then they give us a bit more options, or examples, I guess. Maybe you've got the Keystone Rune, the Rune King's Tribute. Okay, so this is a Keystone. When you have Resolve as your primary path. Now you're looking to amplify these Keystone effects. The third path in Inspiration is a great option, right? So Inspiration being the second one that you choose, right? Check this out. The third path, plus 100 health permanently, but minus 10% damage to champions until 10 minutes. So this is one of those things where it's like, if you have a losing matchup, or if you're a tank and you're not really playing the lane to kill your guy, you're just playing to scale, perfect, this is great. This will help you get past the laning phase, this will help you just a lot, and it's a really interesting thing. Like, it's completely different than what we have at the moment. Then they give us even more examples. Build focus runes. Alternatively, there are some neutral rune options you can take in your secondary path to augment your champion's build or other playstyles rather than your keystone. Check out the path of inspiration again. Maybe the combo you want is for our most well-read champion, Nasus, and getting every item under the CDR tab. Yes, we still have you covered for that 45% CDR build. So again, you know, currently the mastery that gives you, I think it's called Intelligence, which is actually the same name as this, gives you 45% CDR, right? And plus 5 just flat CDR. So same thing here, plus 5 CDR, plus 5 max CDR, so 45, plus 5% summoner spell CDR, and 5% item CDR, and 5% rune cooldown CDR. Like, Jesus. So this is like quite a bit. This is actually really good, I think. So this works for this. So rune CDR, I'm assuming this works for this. I'm not sure if it does. Maybe it's a keystone. I'm not sure if it'll work for this, but I'm assuming it does. So that instead of 4 seconds, it'll be slightly less. Which is pretty good, right? And then they have another one. This one's a little weird. This one I think is a little bit weird, but it's called Store Credit. So this essentially helps you hit your power spike with a champion a little bit earlier. You can enter debt to buy items. The amount you can borrow increases over time. The debt limit is 150 plus 5 per minute. Lending fee 50 gold per item. This one is a little bit strange. This one is definitely a little bit strange, but it's also super cool and just completely different than what we've ever seen in League of Legends ever, right? That one, like this one is completely different, this is completely different, even this one is honestly different completely. So I don't know, that's just a very quick example of what they're trying to do. A lot of really cool stuff, a lot of new runes, a lot of new information, and I'm just really excited to just hear more information about this and hear more of the keystones, for instance, because the keystones, all of them seem pretty powerful so far. I want to see them all, man. I'm so curious to see just what are the options. But that's about it for this video, guys. There you have it. A lot of really cool and sweet new information regarding the new Rune and Mastery combination system, or whatever you want to call it. It's cool. It's really cool. So either way, guys, let me know what you think about it down below. If you enjoyed the video, hit it with that like button. Make sure to check out the stream. I'll be streaming right now. Streaming some of that new champion, Kane. And yeah, subscribe if you haven't. And I'll check out the other videos, all that stuff. And I'll see you guys for the next one. Thank you for watching. Peace.